everybody, my name is Minimantis519 and today I will be talking about redstone. And if you want to be a redstoner, there is a lot in this video that will teach you how to use it. And so it will be about redstone and the behaviour of it, like clocks, stuff like that, and some redstone components. So let's get started with the general behaviour of redstone. There is quite a lot of different activators as well, which I am just picking up in case we need it. So I think that's all the activators except this one. Okay, now redstone. Redstone is this little piece of red dust here. And if we put a redstone torch, wow, it goes in a straight line and lights up. Now what's that all about? Well, what it does is, this is a redstone torch. It activates the redstone, which makes it light up. And it goes in a straight line because the power is coming from there, here, where the redstone torch is. And then you can bend redstone like that. And that's the general behaviour. Now, activators, redstone torch, as we've seen, and the lever, which can be flipped on and off crazily, and it will generate a constant redstone output when on, and going the other way, it will generate no output at all. Next thing is the button. This one, as you may know, is just regular, and it basically gives it an output. Wait, I'll count the seconds. 1, 2, 3. About 3 seconds it gives an output, but then it just, well, turns off. Now, the tripwire and string. This is one of my favourite ones. It's good for doing traps. So you put two hooks and then you put string in the middle of them and then they hook like that. And watch what happens to that redstone. When I'm in it, it goes on. And when I'm out of it, it goes off. Now this is really cool. And it's similar to what we're doing next. It is a walkover activator. The stone pressure plate, or the pressure plate, because there's loads of different kinds. And same with buttons, loads. And these will send the redstone output like this. You stand on them and then they give a redstone output. A bit like the tripwire hook. Now, the last one is the daylight sensor. So, redstone and daylight sensor. Wow. Oh, why is it turning blue? Well, it's turning blue because, for example, it won't power the redstone under there. Well, let's just put it there, and then, for example, let's put a block on top of it. put loads of blocks around it and make sure it doesn't receive much light at all. And then the less light it receives, the less redstone output it gives. Should be pitch black in there now. So let's just take a redstone output through here. It won't actually work if not all around is covered by it, so it has to be a really dark, deep tunnel. Soon you should see the redstone powering off as it is doing. See? It's not that much anymore. And we'll be talking about that in a minute. Redstone outputs. Now the opposite of the daylight sensor is the night sensor. The night light sensor. Now if we turn it over, what has happened to the redstone? Well, you should see it turning on. And the darker it is, the more redstone output there is. Now, next thing is the conditions of redstone. There is 15 different conditions depending on power. And those conditions are full 15% power, no, 100% power or 15 power, 14 power, 13 power, 12 power, 11 power, 10 power, 9 power, 8 power, 7 power, 6 power, 5 power, and 4 power, 3 power, 2 power, and 1 power, and 0 power. Now you can gradually see the change in how the redstone looks. So it's really bright on the first star, but then it gets darker and darker and darker and darker until it has no redstone output, which is just crimson. And that's the different states. So the next thing is components that can be used with redstone. Now, there's quite a lot of things like, oh, this is a power as well. I forgot this one. So this is the observer. It does that. It gives a tiny redstone output. Let's just curve it over like that. So when we put a block in front of it, wow, it detects it. And it gives off a redstone output. Now the redstone components are here. Well, here and here, and here and here and here, and here and here. Well, there is some output things with the redstone. So in here, some reacts to redstone. Well, all of them do, but some change redstone. And there is a load of stuff here. So let's choose TNT first. Sticky pistons, sticky pistons next. Pistons next. Dispensers next. Droppers. Hoppers. comparators, and repeaters. They just fit in our inventory. That's amazing. Shall we get something to set off with the dispenser? So let's do... What do you think we should do, guys? Do you think we should do lava, water, TNT? Well, we have got TNT already. Fire charges, arrows. There's a lot of stuff. I think a trident. As we're not using multi-redstone output yet, we will use a trident. And this does this, by the way. So, TNT, as you probably might know, it does set off when powered by redstone. So if we get 2 activators, which one shall we swap this with? Comparator, they're not that useful, you know, but they still do something. So if we put button here and redstone, boom, okay, let's just... Oh, what happened? Oh no, the ground was destroyed. So that's what happens with TNT. And with TNT you could also put a button on it. And it just goes boom. TNT are very useful for doing stuff like digging out, because they actually give you the things. Also, you could use flint and steel to light TNT, and that might kill you though. So you might as well just put a button 15 blocks away, and then just do boom boom, and then set off a load of TNT somewhere, like here, like a pile of TNT. And so let's set it off. It didn't set off many TNT, but it made that TNT launch into the air and be like a TNT firework, as they used to do in the olden days when there weren't actually fireworks in Minecraft. The next thing is the sticky piston. These are useful for a lot of things, way more than the TNT. I mean, you can even push TNT with them. Crazy. And same with pistons, but they still aren't that useful. It's really weird. For example, there is another thing. There's a special contraption we'll make in a minute with those things, and another activator. And that's the redstone block. It does the same as the redstone torch though, so there's really no point at looking at it. Except it does not power blocks. So if you to put a block on top of it and put redstone on top of that block, it wouldn't power. Just wouldn't power. So after the sticky piston, there's the piston, of course. But all that does is this. I mean, that's boring. That is really boring. You can make this same contraption I'm making with the piston, but I like the sticky piston more, and I usually choose it for my redstone contraptions more as well. So those are exactly the same contraptions, if you look, because they're exactly equal and they look exactly the same as well. There's no sticky, but it actually is sticky, this one. So next thing is the dispenser, which is the best thing in the world. Because what you can do with it is fire stuff. But it only fires what it can fire. It doesn't fire grass blocks. But it fires that. And I mean, that is amazing. That's really amazing. Because the trident is probably my favourite weapon in Minecraft. Because you can even use it underwater. It's better than a bow and arrow. Actually, it's way better than a bow and arrow. And so the dropper, it drops stuff. It's kind of boring. Now, I think the comparator or something's next. Oh, the hopper's next. That's it. The hopper. Now, the hopper is a pretty interesting subject because it looks like this piece of metal that's got a hole in it. Now, this is how you build a hopper clock, but you need a comparator and redstone and repeaters to actually fire something, and a dispenser, which takes a lot of money. And what the hopper does, I'll just explain it to you right now. So I'm going to shift. It's really hard to do that skill actually. So you try and fly down, and then you try and place it. But it's not going very well for me. But I finally did it. Now, if we look and get a chest, a regular chest, can be any type of chest, by the way. Trap chest is also a redstone activator. There's a lot of them. There is a lot. I can't count them all because there's so much. So the chest we'll put here, and then let's put the trident in here. Where did the trident go? Oh my gosh, it went into the chest. So what's happening here is I'm actually just pretending to not know it. So what happens here is the trident goes in there, then after 1 second goes in there. Actually, after 0.5 of a second, half of a second, this puts this into here, and this puts this into here. This puts the trident into here, and then that puts the trident into the chest. It seems very simple, but it's not actually that simple if you look at it. So what we are going to do is have a look at these other redstone components. The repeater and the comparator of destiny. Now there is two things about the repeater. Actually, there is 3 things. What will happen if you do this? And then you put an activator here. What will happen, do you think? And I mean, look at that. It's a piece of bedrock, and that piece of bedrock just keeps this whole thing running. But what it does, this repeater actually locks this repeater, which turns the torch into a piece of bedrock. And then even if the redstone output's off, it keeps sending a redstone output. It just locks. And so let's just delete that. So that's one system made with the repeater. Now let's put 15 blocks of redstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then watch this. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? Oh, what happened? Why is the redstone output so big? Do you see that? It might have been a bit hard to see, but if we just put it there, you might be able to see it. Did you see in the corner there? The redstone lit up. Now why is that? Because this is 15 power, and then you can't really power the repeater, can it? Well, it can. And the repeater gives the output back. And if we do this, it does a lock. It actually does a lock. As well as that locking version of the repeater, it does this. And now that is the best thing in the world. No, it actually isn't. The next thing the repeater can do is delay the redstone from doing what it's supposed to do. For example, let's put a button here, and then let's put redstone running into each of them. And what do you think's gonna happen? Now what I like to do is make wavy patterns with these. So if we had a stone button, this would be quicker. So I might as well go and get one. And you'll see it looks like it's waving. Or if we used a clock, it would look like it's waving more. See? That's amazing. And that's because this activates first, because it's only got 1 delay. This has got 2 delay, this has got 3 delay, and this has got 4 delay. So that is what happens. Now we are going to talk about the comparator. Now this comparator can be used for some things like comparing what's in a chest. Is there a trident? Yes, there is. And it gives 3 redstone outputs. Oh. Oh no, it doesn't. Well, that was a bit surprising. It only gives 1. Because all of the chest slots have to be filled to actually have proper redstone power. So I think it should have redstone power there, does it? No, it's crimson. Let's put another item into there. Tripwire hook. String. Now it activates. And that depends on how much the chest has got in it. So, there's another thing the comparator can do. Compare. If this signal is greater than this signal, it shall put out a redstone output. If not, the redstone output will not come out. For example, it's greater here because there's only 3 and there's loads here. But if we did this, if we put the button here, and then we send the redstone like this. Oh no. Wait, if we put the button here and send the redstone, and we send the redstone, oh my gosh, I am just being really weird. So if we send the redstone through here, and then the redstone comes from there, that is equal, so it gives a redstone output. But what about if it's like this? Oh, that's weird. Oh, it doesn't give a redstone output, as I said. So that is another thing the comparator can do. The repeater can also do clocks, same as the comparator. The comparator one cannot be changed, but the repeater one can be. But it's really hard to actually get it right on this. Because now if we do it like that, it should work. See? It gives a continuous redstone output, which is one of the things we will be talking about. And this dispenser is not firing anything because it doesn't have anything in it. But if I do that, the trident is disappeared because it just fired off into the distance. And you can do the exact same thing with the comparator, but it's much easier to do. So all you need to do is that. And then you put it on subtract mode and it should do that. Boom. So it only takes an output from here. So it would power this dispenser for a load of times. So if you wanted it to dispense, what could we dispense? Fire charges. Yeah, that would make a mess on the ground, will it? So let's put our fire charges in. Then boom, 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 boom. That shoots 5 fire charges into the air like they're fireballs. And they look like meteorites just going straight into the air. It's really weird. So it does that as well. So now we'll be talking about clocks. We have done the comparator clock and the repeater clock. And there is 3 other clocks that I know. For example, the observer clock, the hopper clock. I'm going to get 11 for this because, well, why not? And the other clock is... have we done it? I think we have it. Was it? No, it was the comparator clock. Okay, so there's only 4 clocks that I know. Oh, how to play. I accidentally put that menu on. So, the first clock we'll be talking about is the hopper clock. The awesome hopper clock. Well, the non-awesome hopper clock, because it's one of my least favourite clocks now, because I realised in the in the Minecraft version of now the version of Minecraft, it's actually letting you build machine guns with these that shoot arrows and arrows and arrows and arrows. And the comparator needs to be used with these. And you can only do this, and it doesn't stretch for very long. Though what you can do is this, the observer chain, which is the most helpful thing in my life. It is so cool. So shall we send a sticky piston to go? Now, oh, and we haven't added anything. See? It does it. The observer chain works. So what it does is the observer observes the observer observes it just carries on. The observer observes the observer, which observes the observer, and so on. And that's how the observer chain works. And you can also do this with an observer chain to, well, curve it, you might say. Let's put it back to here. And then let's put a secret piston that goes up like an elevator. Now that is the way you use observer chains. Now, but we're not talking about that yet. Just delete it all, delete it all, delete it all. So, next thing, the observer clock, which we've been using an observer which does kind of the same thing as the observer chain, but the observer observes the observer, which means they just create constant outputs. Because the observer sees the other observer being placed, and it puts an output which makes the block powered, and then this one detects that the other observer is powered, so it sends out its own power, and that just keeps carrying on the cycle. I wonder if we can actually lock this one as well. No, we can't. You can't lock this one, which is actually quite useful, because you won't accidentally lock it. Wow, that is weird. Shall we make it move around the TNT? Wow! That's actually cool, you know. I never knew you could do that. Well, that's one thing. So the observer clock is not as fast as the comparator clock, but nearly as fast. It's medium speed. And look at this. It just looks so weird. Wow. So you can actually stop the hopper clock by using a lever as well. So now let's move on to this beautiful contraption that we have started but not finished. There is also a special thing called bud powering, which sometimes I love, sometimes I hate. Because, for example, there, it could power anything sometimes, and it's really annoying. So what you should do is I'll just guess a regular block. The favourite white concrete, which is actually, I like orange concrete. That's a good colour for concrete. But only for concrete. Don't do it with anything else. Everything else is fine with what it needs. Oh my gosh, that is so bright and colourful. Let's just put it like that because I like it. Oh, let's make it a surprise as well. So the person doesn't know they're actually activating something that's really bad and that could kill them. And I mean in Minecraft, not in real life. And why would I do it in real life? Oh my gosh, TNT is fired. Oh no. That was annoying, wasn't it? We didn't get to finish the other contraption, but it does exactly the same thing, by the way. Now, we have done with that. Now, bud powering is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, because it's like this. He sometimes powers like that. And actually there is a way that you can make this weird thing that does that. It looks like that. And then it actually works. It's called the block of the fireball. Oh my gosh. Actually, I know what to do. So the piston just pushes this block forwards. Like the piston is making a fireball and shooting it. Oh, I forgot it's a piston. It's not a sticky piston. We need a sticky piston. Oh, imagine if we did this and activated a load of TNT below. Oh, this is going to be really funny. So we'll put a bar of TNT. Oh no, I just realised something. Wow, that did a lot of damage. Okay, so that didn't work very well. So, next thing is contraptions. There's a few contraptions that are useful and you can make builds with them. Such as, what about if we make a prismarine house? This prismarine house isn't going to look good. I'm not that good of a builder, but I'm just imagining it as a prismarine house. And it's going to be weird. So, the actual door is going to be a sticky piston. And 2 blocks. And a sticky piston. Does it go there? No, it goes there. And 2 blocks. No, I mean 2 sticky pistons. So we are building a piston door here. And in one of my videos, you might have seen me make one of these. Now, it was good. I mean, it didn't look good, but it definitely was good. The way it worked was good, I mean. So, first we need to dig out this 6 times 3 times 2 area of space, or another way around. it could be another way around. So what we do need for this is a redstone torch. And there is a mechanic that is used in this called inverting. And I'll actually show you how it works in a minute. So I'll just put orange concrete there because I like orange concrete because it looks cool. And let's put more orange concrete. And now we need to put redstone on all of the floor that is seen underneath. And now that is quite a lot of it done. Well, actually the whole piston door is done already. It's a very quick build, this one, I have to say. And you could probably make it, well, anybody could probably make it in at least 1 minute or 2 minutes because it's that easy. You may not think it's easy, but when you actually do it, it seems like you are saying, oh, how did I not know how to do that? Why didn't I do it quickly? It was so easy. And that is how easy it is. It is really easy. Now, I always use stone pressure plates. Oh no, I've already got stone pressure plates. Let's swap the redstone torch for it. Now let's put them down. And now watch this. Our beautiful piston door is ready to do all its jobs. So now this is like an invisible door, kind of. And let's pretend the house is a 2D house. And really, it's really 2D. Because all it has is 2 layers. And those 2 layers are just, well, they're not really anything. But all they are is just this roof. This boring roof. Boring roof. Boring, boring, boring roof. Boring roof. Boring roof. So, if we put it, delete it. Why is it made a cushion sofa? I don't like that. I don't like how it does that. But anyway, we did need that block. So let's do it on the other side. Actually, there's a way much easier than that. Because it's all you have to do is that. And it just does it. Let's just put the roof like that. So it's a really silly roof. And like that. So the last part of this video is teaching you this inverting. And the inverting is with the redstone torch. And inverting is a pretty complicated subject because, well, how does it work? And also, if you put it like this is also an example of inverting. Because you're inverting the redstone torch. if you put this here, well, if you put it there, it inverts the torch. If you take it off, the torch turns on again. So that's the end of this video, guys, and I hope you learned a lot of it. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe. Bye!